The doctor told me that I'm going to deposit 500,000 naira. I told them, I said, continue, do what you have to do. Before the end of that day, I will rally around to raise the money. They refused. They said, no, they don't do that. Okay. I started begging because there's nothing I could do. Some are even saying, I use my wife for money ritual. I'm an artist. I do music. I do fashion art, tie and dye adire. And then I do farm works too. I do animal husbandry. I just lost my wife, my beautiful wife, leaving me behind with our 2 daughters. It's a tragedy that rocked my life, almost turning my life upside down. Meanwhile, because of the economic situation of the country, we have decided not to have another child ever since 6 years ago. Last year she called me, she said, it don't happen, she has taken it. Okay, before anything, let's go medical testing. And she came back with results and she told me that it was a boy. That was what prompted us to keep the pregnancy. If not, we would have been in this mess today. We felt, okay, having a boy with the 2 girls won't be a bad one. At the hustle now, I know be lazy man. She's also a hardworking woman. She's a teacher and she does home lessons for both children and even adults. She sells clothes. She's such a hardworking woman. When the pregnancy began to grow, she called my attention to a midwife. No, before then, she's been going to she's been going for medical checkup. Good news, say, okay, everything is okay. Baby is fine, the mother is fine. But alternatively, in case if she won't labor for night, we had a midwife close by, and I've seen testimonies from the midwife. She has delivered a lot of pregnant women. So, and then on Friday, before I woke up from this same room, she already left for the midwife, and we're waiting for everything to go normal the way it used to be. But at this point, it was taking longer than usual. My previous girls, about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, once the water don't burst, the baby go come out, she'll put to bed. But this one was not like that. I was getting up to like an hour, then more than an hour. At this point, I was a bit worried. No cause for alarm. We quickly called our neighbors and they brought us a car to carry her, because she know if we walk her by herself, she was really weak, but she was finding it difficult to push. The nearby hospital to us was that hospital that we went to. And as soon as we got to the hospital, they brought her down from the car. They checked her. After checking her, the doctor told me that I'm going to deposit 500,000 naira. The mention of 500,000 naira, first of all, gave me hope. I didn't have that money right there. If I gather all my change where they made my bank everywhere, maybe about 80 or thereabouts, I didn't have that 500,000, but I did not negotiate. I told them, I said, continue, do what you have to do. Before the end of that day, I will rally around to raise the money. I have animals here that can quickly sell to meet up that amount. They refused. They said, no, they don't do that. Okay, I started begging because there's nothing I could do. I started begging them. I prostrated, started crying, begging. And I can't realize, it seems they are not going to do this without the money. And I didn't have the money. So I asked the doctor, say, please, what can I do now? And so he said, we should be going to Ekpe General Hospital. As soon as my wife heard Ekpe General Hospital, she signaled to me and I moved close to her. She whispered to my head, say, Ekpe is too far, she's weak. I begged this man again, they no agree. Okay, now that they are denying that they didn't ask me for money, why was I begging you? If I ask you for something and you say you don't have, Will I expect you to do magic? So I left. We started heading to Ekpe. But on our way to Ekpe, I noticed the way my wife was doing. It wasn't, I was scared. It was not feeling comfortable any longer. So around the Leko, I had to shout on top of my voice to call the police and the road safety that were controlling the traffic to come to our rescue. And they did. They cleared the traffic for us. And they told us that Ekpe is far truly with this woman condition. Say, what can we do? Let's go to the nearest hospital around Eleko. And they took their bike, they directed us, they even followed us. Before we got to that hospital, it was already too late. So at that hospital, they checked her, they confirmed her dead. And then I wouldn't believe that. I wouldn't believe that my wife was dead. I insist that they should try and do something. They said there's nothing they could do. After following day, around 4 a.m., that's when I went to Ekpe police station to go and meet a DPO, and then the DPO brought his own personal car and followed us and come and give them a standing order that they should take the body from us. Then they took the body and they said, of course, they can't bury her with the baby. They have to do this and do that. And we started paying all sorts of money. We ended up spending almost that amount that they asked me to bring at the first hospital, just because they didn't give me time to raise that fund. That was my pain, and that was what prompted me to go back to that hospital the following day with heavy pain on my heart, to point at that hospital that if I had that 500,000 naira, probably my wife would live, or even with the baby, probably he wouldn't have died by now. And concerning the video that I did in the car, that was the only period of time that I could think of camera, because already we're in the car. There's no much I could do. I needed help. I was even trying to call my family. The network was not going. So that my video in the car was supposed to be our testimony, because as at that time, I wouldn't believe that my wife would not survive it. At that time that I was doing that video, I still strongly believe that my wife will survive it. So those videos can be our testimony. But unfortunately, it turned out otherwise. So my pain was that if they have allowed me to gather the money, just like we did at the mortuary, we would have gathered the money for the first hospital, and probably my wife will live. Presently, is tough. It's really heavy on me. As I speak, I don't sleep. I don't sleep at night. That my little baby, sometimes she'll cough. Once they shake body like this, I don't wake up. Sometimes I hear my wife voice. I hear her phone ringing. That's her phone there, but the phone no dey ring, really. But it dey ring in my head. Everything just because this is the room we brought her when she was already dead. Her clothes everywhere. So everything around the house, they give me the memory of her, and I'm not finding it easy. I have to wake up early. I don't even sleep. By 5, I have to prepare them for school. Yes, a lot of people are reaching out to support us. Some even came to give us food. Some came to give us money. My little baby, she was telling me this morning that Daddy, everything is boring. Everywhere is boring. If not for what happened, their mama would have been here, keeping them alive. We know how we do our things, but I'm overwhelmed by the work. Now I realize the true work of a woman in the house. It's really choking. The girls are not finding it easy at all. But then I think it's because it's still fresh. Maybe with time we'll get over it.
There was no blood in our system, and because it was something we could not handle, our facility is registered as a convalescent or nursing home in Lagos State. Because kind of a case needed urgent attention in a facility that is more well equipped, like legal hospitals or general hospitals around. But the for her could have been general hospitals because even around us here there is no blood bank and there is no any hospital that have blood. So because of that, we have to refer her. Within 5 minutes, she left the facility. We advised the husband to take her to general hospital for urgent blood transfusion and possible. She might even need operation because he said he convulsed twice before he was brought in. It was something we could not handle. And for something we can't handle, how are we going to ask for deposit? Nothing like that. Nobody requested for any deposit from him. So because of the case beyond our facility, we can't handle such kind of case at our facility. So and that is the summary of it all.